Don't forget, everybody, for Impact Wrestling Homecoming, it's coming January 6th, 2019. We're going to kick off the new year with a bang. We will be doing a live post show immediately after the pay-per-view, so join us January 6th. If you guys aren't subscribed, click that subscribe button. And other than that, let's just jump into today's video. Guys, we're going to talk about 5 WWE stars who can jump to All Elite Wrestling. Guys, this is actually a really big deal because a lot of people think that WWE is the end-all, be-all with professional wrestling, but as you guys know, that's not always the case. You hear through reports and through social media that sometimes people express their unhappiness, so keep that in mind. You know, we don't know the specifics of every contract and everything like that, but there's a lot of things that we can piece together that would definitely make sense. Now, in this situation, WWE probably can't afford to lose most of the guys on this list because every one of these individuals serve their purpose. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think down below. And leave a comment. Tell me if you guys agree, disagree, especially with AEW and having Tony Khan as the president. I mean, this guy is a billionaire. So this is huge. WWE has some serious competition right out the gate if there's a billionaire backing the promotion. Is that true? We really don't know. We're still learning about the promotion. But that's why this is so important for WWE to realize if this is in fact a very, very serious promotion. If this promotion is coming out with a live TV deal where they're going to have a live pro wrestling show every week and they're going to go head to head with WWE. If this is what we are getting from AEW, Vince McMahon should very well be worried because there is a billionaire involved. Not saying it's going to be an easy process. I've been pretty vocal about this on Twitter, but there are 5 superstars out there who can make the jump to AEW, and we're going to start off with number 1, Cassius Ohno from NXT. Not the first time he'd be leaving WWE, but for so long we've heard about reports that Ohno could potentially be leaving WWE due to his creativity or his creative unhappiness. So this is a situation where it's actually kind of sucks for WWE because they have a really, really good talent, but this is the kind of talent that enhances other people's skills. Now, me personally, I think that was the only reason why Cassius Ohno came to WWE once more. I think they threw him an offer and said, listen, come back. We need you to make others look good. Now, if you're Cassius Ohno, does this make sense? I guess that's up to you to really decide. But this is a situation where WWE has a really good talent in NXT, but he's not getting the amount of respect that he deserves. And the reason for that is because he's predominantly showed on NXT as an enhancement talent, which is really interesting because he is designed to look really, really good and really competitive, but unfortunately he just keeps stacking up losses. So Cassius Ohno is number 1. And I kind of want to just talk about this because where he fits with AEW is really interesting. Cassius Ohno, you know, at this point, he has been very successful on the indie scene, and I feel like AEW is going to be a glorified indie promotion with hopefully a TV deal and hopefully pay-per-views and hopefully live events. We don't know these things just yet, but if these things are on the list, I think they will be successful. Cassius Ohno has been doing a great job in NXT, and there's been rumors that he will not. There is rumors that he will not re-sign with WWE. Now, at one point he debunked these rumors, but this has happened before. It's not the first time, and it's really interesting to see whether or not Cassius Ohno would stay with WWE. In my opinion, I think he would fit really well in a new environment. I think he's skillful. I think he's got the look. I think he's definitely one of the more, you know, when you look at his size and then see how he moves, I think he's one of the more diverse pro wrestlers in the industry. And that is something that a new wrestling promotion needs. So Cassius Ohno is number 1. Number 2, we are going to go with Dolph Ziggler. It's no secret that Dolph Ziggler is friends with Cody Rhodes and the Squad. And Dolph Ziggler, for the longest time, he's been doing big things for WWE. There was rumors that he signed a major contract with WWE that paid him very, very well, regardless of his spot, on television. He's come out on Twitter and said that's not the truth. Reports say otherwise. This is a situation where Dolph Ziggler probably makes the most sense for AEW because he's going to hold a lot of value from his time in WWE. Now, we don't know if Dolph Ziggler would in fact make the move to AEW, but what we do know is that he would thrive on the independent scene. And if our speculation on AEW being a glorified indie promotion with lots of TV and backing and advertising, then perhaps Dolph Ziggler is the guy that could jump to the other side. Now, if Dolph Ziggler were in fact to make the switch to AEW, would he be the world champion, or is he going to be there to be kind of like the mid-card guy that he is in WWE? See, that's the interesting thing. Nobody really knows for sure, but that's what makes me excited to find out. And for a fact, I think WWE is at a point where they've done so much with him. I don't think they have much more planned with him now that Drew McIntyre has obviously been propelled to the top. So let me know what you guys think about Dolph Ziggler. AEW, does it make sense? Let me know. What about Zack Ryder? Now, Zack Ryder is a guy that's been in the WWE for a very long time. He's a longtime vet with the WWE, but of course, he is not happy where he is creatively. So does it make sense for Zack Ryder to make the jump to AEW? I think with the right people, with his skills and his resources that he's once used with social media, I think AEW would actually be able to succeed with Zack Ryder. Now, it's no secret that he's also friends with the guys at AEW. He's constantly posting pictures, with Marty Scurll and Cody and their girlfriends and stuff. So does Zack Ryder fit the AEW brand? I don't think Zack Ryder is an indie wrestler kind of guy. I do think he could bring some cool entertainment value to the show. But then again, too, I feel like everything we've seen with his gimmick is pretty much all we've seen. So if you were to make the move to AEW, would he switch to something else? And that is obviously, the big question. Is this guy able to handle other gimmicks? I don't know, because we've seen him become the same thing over and over in WWE. But that's what makes it very intriguing to see whether or not he would go. We have Finn Balor on the list. So Finn Balor is definitely on the list because Finn Balor has been doing nothing with WWE. And when you look at what Finn Balor has been doing, it's almost like Finn Balor has so much room to grow, but WWE just won't do it. Now, Finn Balor isn't the kind of guy to go, discuss these things on Twitter. He makes a couple subtle, hints and stuff like that on Twitter about being pushed. But, as far as that goes, he won the Universal Championship, got hurt, and unfortunately things haven't been the same. Now, obviously, All Elite Wrestling can utilize a guy like Finn Balor who has potential to be the very top guy in a wrestling promotion. We saw him do big things at New Japan, and now we're seeing him do some cool things with WWE, but he hasn't fully reached his potential. Now, I do want to take a second to just kind of recognize that WWE is at a point where they need to keep their roster, and they might feel threatened. If they are in fact threatened, that's something that they'll have to worry about. They'll have to keep these contracts. They'll have to offer these guys money, because if they're not offering the money, they will leave. And that's exactly why our fifth and final person on this roster that can leave WWE and go to AEW, and this is probably the most logical because there is blood relationship between the two, but Goldust. I think WWE could very well lose Goldust to AEW, and I think it's not even just going to be in a wrestling capacity, but I think we can see Goldust go to AEW due to his relationship with his brother. I think we could see him go there as an agent, perhaps somewhere in the creative field. I'm not sure. Now, right now, Goldust is actually battling injuries, so that's why he's out of the ring. But if you were to jump into action with AEW, it could get a lot of people talking. Again, I don't like the idea of promotions using legends or anything like that, but Goldust is a guy who obviously has a lot of experience in the industry, and it does make a lot more sense. Now, WWE probably doesn't want their roster members showing up on AEW, and if we do miraculously get another WCW versus WWE type of thing, you could see WWE offering a lot of these talents talents bigger contracts so they don't go. Again, it's not about WWE being the giant anymore. We know they dominate the wrestling industry, but when you have a billionaire who potentially can challenge Vince McMahon, it's a very, very interesting thing. And right now, it wouldn't be a bad thing for WWE to be challenged because they absolutely need to be challenged. They need to be challenged so they can create better content and better TV. So, in recap, we got Cassius Ohno, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Finn Balor, and Goldust. I want to know what you guys think, and don't forget Sunday after Homecoming, the pay-per-view by Impact Wrestling, January 6th. We're going to be going live post show on YouTube. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button. My name is Tony from Destination Pro Wrestling. I'll see you guys soon.